back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video showing you a couple of new makeup bits that I've bought that I am yet to try on my skin properly, and I'm just going to be using some makeup that I'm really enjoying using at the moment, and I just want to tell you guys about it so you can go and buy it because it's stuff that I really love and I use time and time again. So the first thing that I bought, which is what I'm most excited about, which I haven't tried yet, I've only swatched it on my skin, I haven't used it in my makeup routine properly, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and this is kind of like a glow product. So it's not a foundation, it's like a primer, I would say, and it just makes you glow, and it's supposed to be really good for diminishing the appearance of pores and lines, but it looks like a foundation. So I picked the shade number 3 up, and the thing that I really like about this is it's got a massive doe foot applicator. So I'm just gonna show you guys how big this is because it's massive. So that's what the product actually looks like. It's a doe foot applicator, and again, it's got kind of like the typical glamorous Charlotte Tilbury packaging. So I'm going to be trying that on my skin today. I'm going to be giving you my instant reaction to that. I did actually do a swatch and kind of gave you a reaction on my Insta stories, but again, like I said, I haven't used this with my normal makeup yet, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that looks. And then the next thing that I am so excited to try is the Dior foundation that I picked up. Now this is the Dior Forever Undercover Foundation. This has had quite a big launch and lots of influencers have been talking about this. I actually picked this up after seeing one of my favourite bloggers of all time. She's called Laura and she's called Buy Now Blog Later. I'll link her below. But basically she was talking about this and her friend Simone, who is also lovely, and they were both saying how much they loved it, so I had to pick it up. And yeah, I got the shade number 025. Looks like this. It's a plastic bottle. Now I actually don't mind that it's a plastic bottle. I quite like that it's a plastic bottle. It was about £34, so it's quite expensive. So some people might be annoyed that it's in a plastic bottle, but I don't actually mind. It's got a screw top lid and then it's a squeezy kind of tube. So I'm actually going to be putting this on my skin before I do anything else. So I'm going to get straight into applying this and I'm going to give you my initial thoughts. Okay, so I have the shade 025 here. I'm just going to pop some of it onto my hand, and I'm going to apply that much. Now you guys know that I like to be a tiny bit darker than my natural skin tone because I fake tan. I don't actually have any on at the moment, so I'm just going in with my beauty blender to see what this is like. So instant thoughts are it's quite perfumed, but I don't actually mind that, and it doesn't actually feel like I have anything on my skin. The coverage is quite good, but you can see I've got a spot here that is waiting to kind of clear up, and it hasn't completely covered that. I'm going to go in with some more just to try and get a tiny bit more coverage with this. Now the problem is with this spot here is it's gone quite dark. It's gone kind of like a bluey colour, almost like it's bruised. So I'm not going to judge it too much based on the fact that it hasn't covered that, because everything else has been covered really nicely. Okay, so I know that my face and my neck are not the same colour because I put some fake tan on this morning and I'm waiting for it to develop. I just use a Dove Gradual Tan, and I really like that because it makes me feel like I've got a good bit of colour, but unfortunately it's still developing, hence why it's slightly darker. However, foundation, straight off the bat, I really like it. It's very matte. So something I would say is if you have dry skin, I wouldn't completely rule this foundation out, but what I would make sure is that you really moisturise your skin, because if you don't and you've got dry skin, then this is not going to blend very well and it's just going to look really cakey and built up. I've got combination skin. My skin is on the drier side at the moment, but I really like it. I love the coverage. I think the coverage is really nice. And the thing that I like most of all is it doesn't feel like I have any makeup on, which is really good. So yeah, so far I like that. I will give you kind of an update, I guess, over the next few videos that I do, but as an instant reaction, I do really like it. So next up on the video, I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade Light Medium Honey. This is my favourite concealer of all time, ever. Like this beats Nars, this beats all of them. It's just like the best stuff ever. So what I do is I go under my eye like this in the outer corner, and then I will just kind of like blend it all the way around my eye and kind of on my actual eyelid as well. I'm just going to use my beauty blender. This is just the only thing that I find that really does kind of make me look awake and helps with dark circles and just makes me look good and fresh. The thing I love about it the most is the fact that it doesn't move. So if you need a new concealer, you've got to try this because it's amazing. It's just so annoying, it's so difficult to get hold of in the UK. You can get it on QVC, but I just wish that they would open a counter over here already. So that's my Shape Tape, and I'm looking kind of very pasty at the moment because I've got no colour on my skin. Next, I'm going to take my trusty Laura Mercier powder, and this is the translucent one, and I've run out of it, I can see, so I need to get a new one. Again, I like to dip my beauty blender into the powder and then I'll apply it just underneath the eye. I don't use too much of it, I don't cake myself in powder because a little bit goes a long way with this, and then I just blend it in. Next I'm going to use the Nars Laguna bronzer. This is an oldie but goodie for me. I really love this so much, the colour's great. I'm just going to apply this as kind of like a contour and a bronzer in one, I guess. I don't really use two separate products, I just like to use one. And I'm being quite gentle with it when I'm going over my skin, especially on this side where my massive spot is, because I don't like to kind of drag the makeup. It just warms my skin up nicely. Okay, so I've done my bronzer and now I'm going to use my blusher, and this is the Nars Orgasm blusher. You guys have probably seen this a million times, but this is a baby version of it and I just really like this. It's very brightening, makes you look healthy, and it's got a bit of a glow to it, which who doesn't love a glow? So I just smile, just pop a little bit on cheekbone, pop a little bit on the apples of the cheeks. And it's just a really good colour. Like, I haven't ever seen this on someone and not loved it. It's just a really nice universal kind of flattering shade. And if you've got much deeper skin tone than I have, it looks beautiful as a highlight. Definitely recommend it if you're in the market for a new one. Highlight done. Now, something that I have noticed instantly is when I do my foundation, I always have to set my powder everywhere. So I'll normally use this Hourglass one in dim light, which I really love, but with this new foundation I didn't put any powder on apart from under my eyes, which you saw me do, because I felt like the rest of my skin didn't really need a powder. Sometimes when I don't powder and I go straight in with my bronzer, it can tend to look a little bit muddy and it doesn't look very smooth, and it can just almost take it away. So do you remember I said to you I need to be careful because I don't want to move the makeup that's around my spot? My bronzer has gone on just as well as it would normally with me using a powder, and I'm so impressed. Like, my skin looks like I've powdered it, like it's so smooth, and that's something that I don't get from foundations normally unless I use a powder all over. So just a heads up on that foundation because it's amazing. Now I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter and we're going to give it a go now and see how well it is. So, in all of the videos that I've seen for this, Charlotte tends to put it on the cheekbone, down the nose and on the forehead, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So, doe foot applicator, I'm going to do some dots there, and actually no, I'm going to blend first because I don't know whether this is a product that sets. So basically you can use this on the skin. Oh, I'm worried I've got too much here, but I'm just going to try and work with it, guys. Now, when I put this on the other day, it looked absolutely amazing. It looked like a really natural highlight that wasn't full of loads of sparkly kind of glittery makeup, which can sometimes just be too much for the day or just in general. Like, this really reminded me of kind of like catwalk or like red carpet makeup, just like really beautiful and glowy. And I've just put it on. Don't know if you guys can see that amazing glow that I've got going on here, but I really like this. So I'm going to put some down the nose now. And I'm also going to put some on my forehead. Now, like I said, I bought this in the shade 3. I'm going to use my beauty blender. Cupid's bow. Okay guys, so I've finished putting the highlight on and I absolutely love it. So I put it on my forehead, down my nose, on my Cupid's bow, and then onto my cheekbones. Now I would like to obviously try this as well under makeup, so I'll give you my thoughts again in the coming weeks in my videos and let you know how I'm getting on with it, but so far so good. I wouldn't say that it diminishes the appearance of pores personally, but having said that, it's really, really nice and brightening, and I prefer it to her other product, which is called Wonder Glow, I think, and it's quite sparkly, and I think this is a much more subtle version of it, which I really, really like. So let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below, but I think it's very pretty. Moving on to the final item that is new and that I bought, which I'm very, very excited about. And I have actually used this once before because I just needed to play with it straight away. But a couple of you messaged me and said, please do a video using it. So I thought I would include it in this video. And this is the Nars Wanted palette. So this came out, I think it was last month. Or no, maybe it was before Christmas. So this is what the colours look like. They're absolutely beautiful. They're very, very sparkly, and they're just really, really nice colours. I think this would be a really good palette if you travel a lot, or if you're going on holiday and you just want all the colours in one place, then this is basically the palette for you. Now, this was quite hard to get hold of because it's sold out everywhere, so I will try and leave a link below to anywhere that has it left, because it is a limited edition, which is really annoying, but I thought I would do a quick eye look using these, so that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go in with the shade 7th Heaven, which is this kind of neutral shade here, and I'm going to go in first of all with a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to kind of brush this all over my eyelid. Just going to zoom in for you guys as well so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm washing this just all over my lid and bringing it up just past the socket. And I'm also going to take the same shade with this brush and place it underneath my eye. Now, you guys know I like quite a blown out eye, so I'm not really fussy about keeping it really close to my actual under eye. I like to kind of really blow it out, so that's what I'm doing. I mean, like, this colour on its own all over is just really nice, but obviously I'm not going to stop there. Why stop there? Okay, so the next shade I'm going to take is Lala, which is this shade right here, which is like a bronzy colour. And I'm going to take that and place that in the outer corner of my eye. It's like a warm brown, it's like a warm kind of satin brown shade, and I'm just placing this on the outer corner, and I'm just dragging it in. And I'm also going to take a pencil brush by MAC, this is a 219, and I'm going to take that same brown shade and I'm going to run it underneath my eye. So you can see it's darker than the other side, just gives a bit more kind of depth. So now I've done that, I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is called Fallen Star, and it's like a champagne colour. And I'm going to just take this on a flat 239 brush from MAC, pop it in the inner corner of the eye, just smudge it over slightly into the bronzy shade. So I've just applied that into the inner corner. And now I'm going to go in with Shooting Star, which is this shade here, and I'm going to place that with my finger just into the centre of the lid. Now I've worked out with these, because I have already played with them, that the really sparkly shades in the palette are best applied with a finger or a damp brush. If you go in with a dry brush like the 239 I just used, it's not going to have the same amount of kind of impact than a finger would, and you'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, so just into the centre, I'm placing Shooting Star, which is that one there, and I'm going to blend it out slightly with that same brush that I used just on the edges, just to soften it, and then again on the other side, straight into the centre of the eye. So I'm going to go in now with my NC15 NW20 MAC Chromographic Eye Pencil, and I like to use this in the inside of my eye just to brighten them a little bit. And then I'm going to go in lastly with Costa Riche eyeliner from MAC. I'm just going to apply a bit of this just on the outer corner of the eye. And I like to kind of bring that halfway in, so I don't want to go all the way in with it, so I make it thinner as it meets the centre of the lid. I'm just going to pull it underneath a tiny bit, and I'm going to pull it out like a wing, like that. And then I'm going to take an angled brush. This is a MAC 266. I'm just going to smudge it in. I don't like kind of pretty perfect makeup. I like it when it looks a little bit more lived in and smudged out. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of like winging it and just pulling it out. Now I have noticed with this palette that there is a bit of fallout, but it's not something that I'm massively upset about. So you can see I've smudged it out with my pencil brush, and I've just kind of elongated the wing a little bit, and then I'm going to do the other side and come back to you. So that is my finished eye makeup look, and I'm just going to pop some mascara on now. This is the MAC in Extreme Dimension Lash. Okay, so I have done my mascara and I applied the MAC Extreme Dimension Lash, and I must say I really love this palette so much. So the colours are really beautiful. You do have a little bit of fallout. I've noticed I did have a little bit under my eye, but if you put a little bit of powder on underneath first, let it sit there, and then once you were ready to kind of finish your makeup, remove it away, I'm sure you would be fine. But it's not a massive issue for me, to be honest with you. But what I really like is that the colours are really pigmented, which is obviously what you want when you buy an eyeshadow palette. This was quite expensive as well, so it was on the pricier side, but I would say that it's a really good quality palette, and like I said, you've got some really nice colours in there. So just to finish off my makeup, I'm going to be using an old favourite on my lips, which is Dervish Lip Pencil by MAC. I really like it. It's kind of like a Your Lips but better shade, and I just apply it on the outside of the lip. And then I'm going in with my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and this is in the shade Abu Dhabi, which I absolutely love. And now I can't get into it. I absolutely love this because it's just like the best nude, and it's so cheap. It was like £5 or something like that in Boots, and I actually can't get into it, guys. There we go. And I'm pretty much out of it. Like, I'm really having to kind of get what's left, but it's just a really good colour, and it stays on all day. Okay, so that's my makeup done. So I have the new Dior Forever Undercover Foundation, which is just the longest, most complicated name ever, and I absolutely love it. I've got two bright lights in front of me, and it hasn't melted off or gone shiny, and I haven't put any powder over it, so far so good. I'll let you know about that. I've got the new Nars Wanted palette on my eyes, which I really love as well. The colours are beautiful. And then I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter on as my highlight, and kind of like down the centre of my nose, on my Cupid's bow, and then also on my forehead, which is really impressed me so far. It's like a nice subtle highlight, but it still kind of makes you glow. So I will definitely update you on all of the products that I've used over the coming weeks. But I just wanted to do a quick makeup tutorial for you, just to show you what I'm loving, and just to say hi and that I missed you guys. So I hope you have a great day wherever you're watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye!